We're getting close to kickoff time here. The sun just peeping out behind some pretty dark clouds here. We are just under the mountains here at the UWI Mona campus. It's the JFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence. We're about to see Jamaica Premier League football off and running. This powered by Digicel, and the Tivoli Gardens in the tangerine and black outfit up against Mount Pleasant. Tivoli Gardens, as we said, only Portmore have won more titles than they have in Premier League history. And there's the kickoff. And Tivoli Gardens inside their own half, getting a feel of the ball and trying to make sure that as many of their players get an early touch, an early feel of the ball and the surface. No spectators for Premier League football here in Jamaica because of COVID-19 protocols, which is completely understandable.
Well, I think it's more accurate to say no fans, because there are spectators and there are people who are, but the point is made.
They're affiliated to the teams and the organisers.
But they're spectating.
Okay.
So it's correct to say there aren't any fans allowed because of the protocols. I'm just troubling you, my friend. You know this.
Tivoli Gardens enjoying a lot of the ball early. Rankin, McCullough, Reed, good forward play here by Mount Pleasant, but the play broken up.
A couple of players here on both sides, as we see David Garrison trying to turn his man, who I think are underrated. Garrison is one, wears number 3 for Tivoli, and Sule McCullough wears number 14 for Mount Pleasant. Very, very good player, very versatile. I don't think fans rate him as much as his ability dictates they ought to. League winner with Portmore United, and yeah,
Tivoli showing signs there of wanting to high press this Mount Pleasant team. Beckford turns well but loses his balance and is fouled.
Yeah, very good defending, not allowing him to turn, and knocking him off balance.
Isaacs. Benbow back. Rankin. McCullough, first touch good. Beckford. Pass just a bit short there for Beckford.
Yeah, should have used Green on the overlap, but went back inside. Space wasn't there.
Liston James at defense for Mount Pleasant, just intercepting the play. A little bit too much weight on that pass intended for Elliott.
Yeah.
Tivoli looking confident on the ball. LaDale Ritchie, captain of this Mount Pleasant team. Beckford, Benbow. That was Fleming's taking no chances.
Yeah, Green being criticized for peeling more to the far post. They wanted him to come near. Benbow wanted him to come near side for it. And he apologizes, Daniel Green, realizing that he made the wrong run.
Benbow. And there's Barrington Price, making sure that he turns the ball around, gives up a corner. Philip Williams, the head coach of this Tivoli Gardens team, knows he has a lot of work to do here with this squad.
Yeah, just a few more minutes before the patterns will appear, but I think Tivoli started looking confident on the ball, but Mount Pleasant will turn it up a notch in terms of the intensity, looking to exert their physical superiority.
Oh, Fleming is getting in there with a header and denying his opposing number 14, McCullough, an opportunity to get to the ball. Good work there for him.
Very
McCullough
alert.
Was lurking right behind.
Yep. McCullough has the advantage in terms of height.
Green. Rankin. Doesn't have the kind of room to effect the play that he wanted.
Yeah, Elliott was there tracking back from his advanced position in terms of the formation to help defend. Big lad, Aaron Elliott is. Using his size to good advantage just now.
Yeah, another corner kick here for Mount Pleasant. It's Daniel Green getting ready to strike it. Oh, the cross is threatening. Oh, the header on goal, punched over the top. Fine effort by McCullough, and the save from Watkins, brilliant as well.
Yeah, I tell you, this player, criminally underrated, Sule McCullough, very intelligent. He's the left back, people, in the box for this. And look at him rise. Price was badly positioned, couldn't really challenge, but the goalkeeper equal to the task, a palm over.
Yeah.
Top save,
top effort from McCullough as well, because he headed well. He was away from the goalkeeper, but Watkins reacted really, really well and may have hurt his shoulder in the effort as well.
Yeah, he too is a big lad, Watkins. And landed heavily on that left shoulder.
Yeah. So he's getting some attention from the physio at the moment, but the first real close opportunity in this game on 6 minutes. And I think starting well in this season will be very important for the teams, because pre-season hasn't been like it has been any other year, with lack of preparation and uncertainty about the start. In the past 3 seasons, there's the corner headed away by Johnson. Benbow all the way back to his captain, Richie. Oh, Richie goes back here for Green. Green keeps possession. The cross is good. Gotten away there by the alert defensive work from McCain. Yeah, I was making the point that Tivoli Gardens has lost 2 of their opening games the last 3 seasons. In fact, 4-0 they lost their opening game to UWI last season, when they would have had better pre-season preparation than they have had this year. So they'd want to ensure that they get their ducks in a row. Oh, McCullough does really well. He goes for goal. What a strike. Watkins can't hold it well, and Benbow is unable to finish.
Wow, Sule McCullough once again. I've put the commentator's blessing on him rather than the curse. Spoke about him earlier, and he's been center of the action, cutting on his weaker left foot. That one was straight at Watkins, but for some reason he judged that he couldn't hold it. Too much power.
Yep.
Palmed it down.
Ball was swerving, George. It was swerving, and he didn't have the confidence to take it. Isaacs. Tivoli defending in clusters now, because Mount Pleasant are beginning to raid them. Fall.
Yep, pinned in their own half. And that was a 50-50 challenge that Teddy Johnson came out the loser in. Nothing malicious about the tackle. Both men had a legitimate right to go for it, as we'll see here. Yeah, ball was running loose. And the veteran getting some of his ankle taken.
Yeah.
But this is the play once again. Cuts in on the right. Bang!
Yeah,
dipping as well. So
the
yeah,
ball was swerving and dipping. And Benbow, George, who has scored 4 goals against this Tivoli Gardens team in the 6 outings, had the opportunity here on the rebound, but just failed to slide it past the keeper.
Goalkeeper advancing in his line of sight, so he was thinking about the collision and thinking about executing the shot as well. So yeah, that's why it came to naught.
Tivoli in possession in midfield. Johnson. Garrison. Oh, gives the ball away. Mount Pleasant with a quick opportunity in transition. Isaacs. Benbow sent a little wider than he wanted to be. Still Benbow. Oh, the header out. Another opportunity for Mount Pleasant. McCullough. Beckford, the former Waterhouse man. Isaacs can crack them from distance, but wasn't allowed the comfort here. And now Elliott's pass forward is asking certainly a little bit too much of Anthony Nelson, the 21-year-old.
Yeah, and getting a ticking off from Teddy Johnson, who wanted him to hold and wait for supporters, for men to run and offer themselves. Elliott, if ever there was a preemptive pass. But Mount Pleasant dominating already, lads.
Yeah, they have. We've already seen Benbow have an opportunity to put them ahead. Tivoli were 5th on 43 points, 11 off the leaders Waterhouse when the season was aborted last year. So they were having a slightly improved season because the season before wasn't too good for them. And it was in fact a pretty roller coaster season for Tivoli last year as well. Lost the first 3 matches of the season, but then rebounded with some good second round performances and got themselves in a playoff position, or on the verge of a playoff position. There's confidence in midfield from Johnson. At 41 years old, his strength, speed and agility may be on the decline, but certainly his ball handling skills still among the best in the Premier League.
Funny what age does. The brain has never been better, but physically not the same.
Tivoli on the advance here with Elliott. Rankin putting pressure on him. Tivoli threatening. Johnson's strike isn't good, needed to be better.
Yeah.
McCullough putting a lot of pressure on. Rich's clearance finds Beckford. Beckford there, climbing on the back of Smith, who wins a free kick.
Used his body well there, Smith, against the man with more brawn.
Handball, I thought that was.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, his first touch just popped the ball up onto the arm.
I'm already concerned about the Tivoli central defenders, because a couple of times, Lance, I've noticed Barrington Price has been pulled out of position. He's found himself in the left back position trying to stop Cardell Benbow getting around on the outside, leaving his central defensive partner Pennycook lonely.
Beckford on the chase.
I'm sure that's not what Philip Williams wants them to do. So let's see if they can readjust in the midfield to prevent that from happening.
Morgan knocked over.
Fair tackle.
Green. Beckford. Green.
Offside.
The offside flag goes up, so Mount Pleasant on the attack, looking fairly fluent in attack here, putting the Tivoli Gardens team under a lot of pressure. 12 minutes in, no goals yet.
Yeah, I felt Green should have done better. His head was down. Clearly more. The ball was going forward. And it wasn't Beckford who was offside. It was actually Benbow. Because the ball was going in his direction, so the assistant was obliged to flag.
So the sun not with us again. There was some very, very, very heavy rain here at this complex on Friday. Johnson, still Johnson, challenged successfully by Liston James.
And there he goes, complaining to the referee that he was unfairly upended. You're going to have many of those moments when he's on the field.
The effort there from Horatio Morgan, a 22-year-old, steps up into the big league here and looking confident on the ball so far, but not the biggest player on the field, and the Mount Pleasant men appear very, very willing to manhandle him.
Yeah, I was about to tell you that he's looking rather bantamweightish, Lance, and you know your boxing well.
But he does have skill. Watkins, the goalkeeper for Tivoli Gardens Down, he was hampered by a shoulder problem a few minutes ago, and now he appears to have some leg issues.
Yeah, the ankle. It looks to be well, it's the right ankle, maybe beneath the ankle bone that he pointed to just now.
Yeah, the substitute goalkeeper lacing up his boots.
I can tell you that Watkins will continue. We see this with him all the time, Lance. He looks like as if, you know how Courtney Walsh would look at the start of the day's play as if he was going to collapse at any minute, and then 35 overs later from him, he's still running in. That's Watkins. He won't come off.
Yeah. So the standby goalkeeper just loosening up his limbs, but Watkins up and ready to continue. Mount Pleasant with Richie. Goes along. Green keeps possession. Beckford wants it at the top of the box. Oh, he goes to the far post and Benbow doesn't arrive. Yeah, Benbow goes down under a lot of pressure there, but he has a lot of confidence in his own skills. Benbow, very, very successful striker for Waterhouse when he was with that team. Also played for Harrisburg in the USL Championship a couple of years ago. A player with a lot of skill.
Very well defended just now, though.
Yeah.
Lovely turn from Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson does really well here. Elliott. Yeah, Elliott bundled off the ball there.
Tell you what, that's a very good foul because Morgan was screaming at him in space to his right, wanted the pass slipped through to him, but the big man was having his legs taken.
Yeah, free kick to Tivoli Gardens. And Johnson wants it. There are 4 Tivoli goal scoring seekers in the box. Can they make something of this? Benbow tracks back to give his team some defensive support. Isaacs in the wall with Leng. Fine effort on goal! And Tivoli Gardens going close there with Johnson with a fine effort getting the attention of Swaby in the Mount Pleasant goal.
Yeah, knew he was always going to hit him for that top right-hand corner. With the goalkeeper alert. Remember the season he had 3 years ago, as we see a replay of this free kick? Didn't try to get too much power, just wanted to make sure he got it on target. But yeah, he had a season 3 seasons ago, Lance, where he was the MVP. Yes. Oh my, he was special that year.
Yeah, he would have been like 37 or 38 years old then.
Yeah.
So that tells you about his quality. Isaacs. He's also forced himself into the national setup. Kevon Isaacs, a former Manchester High standout in the Costa Cup football.
Player lines, every time I see him, I think he can give so much more because he's that good. But, you know, inconsistent, Kevon Isaacs.
Yeah.
From the Humble Lion days as well.
McCullough. Beckford going to the far post. McCullough still. Rankin. Liston James. Leng goes wide to Benbow. Johnson putting pressure here on Isaacs. Does well.
Excellent defensive work, yep. Haven't seen much of Davian Garrison for Tivoli so far, number 3.
Yeah, they would know of his quality from his UE days, Garrison, so they would want to ensure that he doesn't flourish against them.
I'm going to say this and I'm not being facetious. He looks as if he has put on a few pounds, Lance.
Garrison?
Yes, he has.
that needs some explanation, George. Corner kick to Mount Pleasant. Blue shirts filling up the box. Oh, it's Price that gets the header off, deflects the danger for the moment. Mount Pleasant starting the play over from the top of the half. Rankin to Leng. Fleming's header doesn't get a lot of distance. McCullough, still McCullough, does really well here. James, Leng. Stolen from Greenwell. Garrison doesn't like his passing options inside, so he goes back on the outside on the left. The cross threatening. Danger averted, and McCullough now wants some support from Green, who is being roughed up from behind by Kimar Flemings.
Sometimes it's the simple things that defenders do. On that cross where Morgan was waiting on it, McCullough just gave him a little bump, which unbalanced him as he went to jump, and then it was easy for the defender. It's just the simple things sometimes that the defenders have to do. Didn't really have to challenge, just knocked the man, made sure that he was unbalanced when going for the header, and then it was easy for him to just collect the loose ball. McCullough is my man of the match so far, Lance, you can tell.
Yeah, he's doing really well. Former title winner with Portmore United, McCullough. Portmore, the most successful team in the history of the Jamaica Premier League. Of course, the first couple of titles that they won, they had a different name. Hazard United they were. The likes of Anthony Badas Corbett and company. One of my favorite Jamaica players of all time, Anthony Corbett.
And you're leaving out Rudy Dixon.
Yeah, well, that was a quality Hazard team. Dixon, of course, going on to be a coach of the Portmore team in his retirement years. Beckford sets it down here for Green. Isaacs. Beckford wants to set up for the right-footed strike.
Offside. Yeah. Needs to be a bit less predictable, Bushy Beckford. I've seen him a couple times so far get the ball in the left-hand channel and always wants to work it back on the right side. Good call by the assistant. This is offside.
Yeah. Didn't need a VAR to tell us that, did it?
No.
Not that we have VAR here in the Jamaica Premier League, powered by TGFC. I guess happily for many fans.
Absolutely so. Can you imagine the abuse?
Oh boy. Yeah, I think we're having a bit of a water break here to facilitate these hot conditions in these COVID-19 times.
So doesn't the clock stop? Well, the referee has the most important clock, so yes. There you go.
Yes. Tiga Davis there, the coach of this, head coach of this Mount Pleasant team, getting a few words in. So we're middle of the first half. Mount Pleasant looking the more settled team, but to be fair to Tivoli, I think they're holding their own against a Mount Pleasant team that came in here as huge favourites.
Oh yes, I expected Mount Pleasant to really go all guns blazing in terms of the intensity, but their approach has been measured. Sometimes they've stepped on the gas. They've used a lot of wing play in the game so far, trying to penetrate through Benbow on the right and Daniel Green on the left. Daniel Green swapping places sometimes with Bushy Beckford, Kimara Beckford, and of course Sule McCullough, very dangerous on the overlap from his left-sided station. So yeah, they've tried to open up Tivoli down the flanks. It hasn't worked thus far. McCullough did find himself on the end of a chance where his header was acrobatically palmed over by the goalkeeper Watkins. But yeah, you're right. Tivoli have held their own, it must be said.
Yeah, they're doing quite well. The former CFU Club Championship runners-up Tivoli Gardens back in 2004 when they defeated TNT's San Juan Jablote in the semi-finals, but then went on to lose in the final to another Jamaican team, Harbour View. Beckford is offside again.
I told you about the concerns I had about Tivoli's backline, but so far they've gotten the offside trap very well, very much correct. And I'm looking at the line. Well, the line was unscrambled. This isn't a good line. They were just lucky there because Price was not in line with Pennycook, which you have to be. I should say there was a line, but it wasn't straight, and it should be a straight line.
Tivoli Gardens in midfield. Big, strong challenge there from Liston James.
No malice once again, going for ball.
The first name of this Mount Pleasant team, George, when they just came in, Stush in the Bush. I think Liston James was playing for them from those times. Of course, this setup is, from a roster standpoint, completely different from the one prior to their qualifying to the Premier League.
Yes, yes. Stush in the Bush, I think that name now resides with an eatery. Somewhere you can go and have a meal, a Sunday morning brunch kind of a thing. Here they come.
Yeah. Beckford trying to make room, but taking off the ball. Yeah, I think the Tivoli Gardens players not too happy with that call.
Well, I think there were 2 fouls, but the referee is saying, well, I'm blowing it for the Harvey foul because Harvey was fouled, but Beckford looked as if he was going to getting an advantage. I allowed play to continue. That advantage dissipated, and so I called it. But meanwhile, there's a man down for Mount Pleasant Lands, Liston James.
Yeah, well, I just spoke about him because he had been there, I believe, from Stush in the Bush days.
Yeah, that's a foul. Price through the calf of Harvey, and then Beckford was also fouled.
Yeah, and they lost it.
Yes.
So whereas the referee may have been inclined to play the advantage if Mount Pleasant had kept possession of the ball, that was thrown out the window when Beckford didn't get to it.
Sure, that's what he was explaining to the Tivoli boys, who didn't feel the call was too clever.
James on his feet again with the help from the physio. Mount Pleasant were just 1 point behind Waterhouse in the leadership race when the season was aborted in March of last year. They had won prior to the stop 4 of their last 5 matches. This Mount Pleasant team. Tivoli Gardens were also pretty solid when the league was aborted back in March. They were on a 4-game unbeaten run that included wins over top teams Waterhouse and Portmore. So before the season was aborted last year, Tivoli, George, were doing quite well.
Yes.
Richie. Mount Pleasant with the opportunity on 27 minutes. 3 players lurking outside, 4 Mount Pleasant players lurking outside the box for the opportunity. Beckford getting close, but Watkins safe. Good work there by young Morgan. Benbow didn't like his passing options he saw in front of him, so he went back. Beckford kind of looks a little lonely up front there, George.
Yeah.
Not a lot of support around him at the moment, and you see some long searching balls heading for him, but so far they're not hitting the target.
And he's not been timing his runs well, so he's been caught offside about 3 times so far in this first half.
Rankin to McCullough. Beckford darts toward the middle. Green knocked off the ball. Oh, Flemings just over dribbles a bit. Invites the fall from Rankin.
Yeah, that's Rankin's job, to stop the counter attack or to stop the transition by fear or foul means.
Overcast conditions now. I think the players will appreciate the fact that the sun is gone. Oh, great pass in.
Good shape on that.
Yeah, but Len gets the header out. Garrison. Smith. Johnson. Oh, good build up here. Garrison does well at the top of the box. Garrison. Oh, very, very good tackle there from Ledale Ritchie. Now there's Beckford. Green going for the run. Is he offside? He may have just beaten the offside trap. Here's Green under pressure. Keeps his balance. Now he's knocked over by Flemings.
Yep. Flemings was isolated, one-on-one defending. Didn't have any help, really, because Price was keeping his eyes on Benbow, making rapid progress towards his left. And ended up having to foul Kimara Flemings. Fiery character.
Yeah, there's the play. beating the offside, but runs into some trouble here with Pennycook putting a lot of pressure on him.
Yes, I didn't see that.
Ian Fleming's taking him down eventually.
Yeah, it was actually two men covering Pennycook and Fleming. So yeah, Tivoli had cover.
Threatening spot here. Green.
From this distance, Lance, you need finesse.
Yeah.
Green looks most likely.
Yeah. Harvey standing there as well.
You mean in the way Fred stands for Manchester United at every free kick? And never takes one.
An opportunity on 30 minutes for Mount Pleasant to go ahead. Green strike! Watkins with a save and Beckford with a rebound. Price taking no chances. Intervening there when the goalkeeper may have had it covered, but he just wanted the ball out of his danger zone. Yeah, Rich's pass there, just sliding away from the onrushing Daniel Green.
Another feature of the Mount Pleasant play, the big diagonal by the centre half when they win possession, looking for Green on this left side. They haven't really gone to the right side with the diagonal. It's always to the left, and they're trying to get a trident of Green, Beckford and McCullough exchanging passes just outside the Tivoli 18-yard box to free Beckford. Hasn't quite worked thus far.
Tivoli Gardens defending well, and their goalkeeper has been equal to the task up to this point. Under 14 minutes now to the halftime break. Price for Tivoli.
That's a card. Let's see if the referee obliges. Yes. No. Dale Ritchie wasn't attempting to play the ball. He realized that Elliott had him turned, and yeah, he gets the booking. So the first yellow card of the season, Lance, goes to the Mount Pleasant skipper.
Yeah, Dale Ritchie. Not as pacey as he would have been 4 or 5 years ago.
A substitution being made, Lance. Liston James, that was a muscle injury to the thigh. Look at that. Yeah, agricultural. No hope of playing the ball. And went through Elliott. So Liston James, muscle injury, Lance, taking him out. So number 18 has come in for him, Kevin Graham.
So Graham in for Mount Pleasant. Yeah, the Tivoli players, another card for a Mount Pleasant man, it seems.
Not so sure about this referee.
The response was immediate from the Tivoli men, though, George, so maybe we'll see exactly what happened.
May have been studs showing from young McCain. Let's see. Yeah, that's a card.
Yeah. Yeah, as I
Spot
said.
on. Costa has gotten his 2 bookings right so far.
Yeah. Ritchie, long. Benbow, under pressure from Price. Benbow has a lot of skill. Oh. That was an attempted shot on goal that went wayward.
Rush of blood from Harvey. There were 2 men waiting on the cross. I thought he was running on to just loft it, drop it on the head of Green or Beckford, and that's what Beckford is saying to him now. You know that Richie's a big lad, Lance. Well, Elliott, the Tivoli striker, is a bit taller than him.
Yes.
And has the same brawn.
Yeah.
So that would be a what? A good one? Cruiserweight bout?
I would think so, yes. Cruiserweight. Somewhere between 190 and 200 pounds. Elliott under pressure. Oh, Morgan miscontrols. Isaacs under some pressure. Turns really well, Isaacs. Green gets away. Opportunity for Mount Pleasant. Green still holds it. Green's effort is high.
Very ambitious from him. 2 men waiting on the pass. Bushy Beckford turns away in disgust. And Green didn't go for the left-footed cross. Worked it onto his right side and was aiming for the top left-hand corner from just inside the 18-yard box. This is a very, very good situation for Mount Pleasant. And look at him. doesn't want any of the options to his right. There were 3 of them.
Yeah, very, very good options too. And the body language of Kimar Bushy Beckford tells of his feelings. Yeah, he wasn't pleased.
It's funny, Lance, the position that the Mount Pleasant team have deployed Bushy Beckford in, that man Paul Teagut Davis. When we saw him at Waterhouse in that outstanding season he had, he was most dangerous cutting in off the left-hand side. So where the Daniel Green is playing now, that's where Bushy Beckford has been at his best in the Premier League, been at his most prolific, his most potent. A centre forward's task has been assigned to him, and he's not too happy so far.
Tucking of the shirt there.
And then Nelson gets a whack after having his jersey pulled. Gets a whack for his troubles.
Yeah, it was Kevin Graham, I think, pulling the shirt there. Graham had started his Premier League life with Rivoli. Yeah, there's the shirt. There's the shirt tuck from Graham. Very robust there. Yeah, but Tivoli have looked particularly exciting, George, on that left side of the field.
Yeah, there's nothing down the right, really, apart from a couple runs by Morgan, but it's down the left. And when the thing is, when Jermaine Johnson picks up possession, he's always looking for the passing options to the left. There isn't much to his right that he's going for, as we see Watkins with a problem once again, the Tivoli goalkeeper.
Yeah. Yes, this is the 3rd time we've seen him in some discomfort. Holding play up. 9 minutes to the half-time break.
Wonder what the temperature is. It's rather cool.
Yeah, it's gotten cooler because the sun has gone and there are some very, very dark clouds hovering over the hills at the moment. And again, the reserve goalkeeper for Tivoli Gardens is shaping himself up for action, or possible action. Price's long ball. Yeah. Fault there on Andre Smith.
Ben for not wanting to see yellow so early. I apologize, sir.
Yeah, we've already seen 2 Mount Pleasant bookings in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
But Philip Williams, Nance, can't be dissatisfied with what he's seen from his boys in Tangerine so far. It can't be.
Yeah, I think they're doing quite well. Price plays it short. The cross threatening. Oh, missed the header. Wow. Should have done better with that, Morgan.
What an outstanding chance.
Oh, he completely missed it, did he?
Yes, he did. Isaacs didn't see him. Well, he didn't see him. Isaacs didn't have eyes, didn't know where he was, didn't know he was there, and he just stole around the midfielder. Really ought to have put that on target, Morgan.
Yeah, just sliding the header there way off target. I guess he didn't approach it with enough confidence. It's almost as if he felt he may not have gotten there. Ahead of the defender, that is.
Well, I think he wanted to just slide it off his forehead. So the connection was wrong.
Yeah. Benbo's pass to Beckford, handball. Yeah, Beckford disappointed. He hasn't enjoyed his game so far, Beckford. Not sure what he's.
Oh, he's going to get
about.
a yellow card now for dissent. Oh my goodness.
It was an obvious handball though, wasn't it?
But just because of what you said just now, Lance, he's frustrated with. I can imagine the conversation with him and Daniel Green in the dressing room at halftime for being selfish.
Yeah.
Bushy knows the rules of football. That is a handball, Beckford.
It was looking at the replay now. It was actually below the elbow. It wasn't even as close to the shoulder as I thought first.
Yes.
It was pretty much on the elbow, so that was no question. It was a handball. So a lot cooler the conditions now because some dark clouds are hovering over the JFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence artificial field. Johnson, who's been quiet for the past few minutes. Oh, great challenge. Isaacs with a long ball forward. Pennycook gets there. Flemings does well. Price breaks the attack up and flees his arms at Beckford disdainfully. Graham with the wild clearance.
Yep. So Beckford has moved to the right-hand side now, and Benbow has come central. They've interchanged those two players. Benbow is now their centre forward, Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, let's see if he has some change of luck there, because as I said, he has been prolific against this Tivoli Gardens team. 4 goals against them in 6 outings. That's more than satisfying. Tivoli on the advance. Oh, the header again from Morgan, but doesn't get any pace on it. Goalkeeper Swaby has an easy job. Swaby hasn't been asked to do much in the Mount Pleasant goal since the start of this game, and I guess that just tells you about the run of play. Oh, beautiful first touch from Benbow. Sends Beckford on. Tries to slide it in there for Green, but good defensive work here from the Tivoli men, who have been very, very solid for the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, but what about those 2 touches from Benbow, though? The thigh trap and turn in one motion, and the pass. Very good from Cardell Benbow just now. Leaving Barrington Price for dead for once.
So we waited 14 and a half months for the restart of Premier League football in Jamaica, and here it is, approaching half time. Graham doesn't get a good header on. And Pennycook is trying to get the ball away here for Tivoli. Isaacs under some pressure. Oh, the ball falls free for Beckford. McCallum miskicks. Wow, he'll be disappointed with that, George.
Had to rush the shot.
Yeah.
And in rushing it, it was almost a wild swing in the end. And he caught the ball almost on his follow through, not really on the initial swing.
Yeah. Here it is, the ball pops free to him here, but just over anxious. His eyes lit up, but they were like 4 or 5 Tivoli defenders. Down. Yeah, wanting to close in on him, so he got anxious and miskicked the ball. Richie. Graham. Leng. Wants the return play. Just a few minutes to the halftime break. There'll be time added on for stoppages because there were a couple of injuries, and the water stoppage as well for the players getting some fluids into their systems. And there is now rain threatening the JFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence.
Looking at McCain, number 23 for Tivoli Lands, has a similar look to Trayvon Reed, another light attacker for Tivoli Gardens.
Yeah, Tivoli on the advance here. Header out there by Richie. Johnson goes into the box. His second touch, just a little bit too much weight on it, but has he won a corner?
Yes, he has. He had dropped the shoulder and breezed past one defender. And then, as you said, the second touch was a tad too heavy.
Yeah, a tad too heavy, George.
You said it.
I would suspect he's about 20 pounds heavier than when we last saw him in the Premier League in March of last year.
Perhaps.
But he is a quality player. Tivoli looking for a late goal here in the first half. Benbow. Oh, the step overs from Benbow. Green has acres of room now. Beckford wants it. Too much weight on the pass. Oh, this will be very disappointing for Coach Teagat Davis. And the way Mount Pleasant had squandered a glorious opportunity there for a strike.
That was an excellent chance created as is that Kevon Isaacs down? Yes, looks to be him, number 15. But oh my goodness, there was too much on the pass from Daniel Green.
Yeah, and under no pressure.
The transition was beautiful, lads. Let me tell you, and that's what Teagat Davis is angry about.
Yeah, he would be, George. He would be.
If we get the replay, the first touch from Benbo to collect that ball on the run
Yeah.
was tremendous. Nothing fancy, just stuck out the right boot, track the ball into his stride, step over, beating the defender to Daniel Green, and all it needed was just something in the path for Beckford to chase, and he overcooked it. Wow.
Yeah, so Isaacs held up for the moment. Recently came off international Reggae Boys duties. Kevon Isaacs, very, very enterprising midfielder for Mount Pleasant after pretty solid campaign for Humberland some years ago. He's 25 years old now, Kevon Isaacs, and does have the ability to strike goals from distance. There's Garrison. Oh, he takes a yellow card, does he, from referee Costa?
Yeah, seems to have fouled Isaacs, who actually started that counter-attack for Mount Pleasant. So 4 men in the book in the first half. So this is Isaacs. And he gets... That's a yellow card? Okay.
Late.
But that first touch was superb.
Yeah, Benbo is having some good touches on the ball. It's just the finishing touches for the team that aren't really working that well for Mount Pleasant at the moment. Tivoli in transition, but the throw quickly to Mount Pleasant.
Daniel Green needs to improve in attack for Mount Pleasant, though. He can do better.
Yeah. A former Harbourview player, Daniel Green, but a player with some quality. He would have had to have quality for him to be called up to the Jamaica Olympic setup.
We first saw him in a Harbourview shirt, and every coach at Mount Pleasant has trusted him. So he must be a good player. But just not getting it right this afternoon so far. He's the weak link in the Mount Pleasant attack to date. But he can improve, he can do better.
2 minutes added on for stoppages, and Tivoli are on the advance again. Johnson. Yeah, the pass there, a little wayward from McCain.
Johnson apologizing to Kemar Flemings, who wanted him to switch the play to the right. And he went back to the left. And the play broke down for Tivoli. And the veteran apologizing to his teammate. That's half-time?
Yeah, it is. 2 minutes added on for stoppages. Thought there could have been more, but that's how it ends. No goals in the first half here. Mount Pleasant against Tivoli Gardens. 5-time champions, Tivoli Gardens. Still overcast conditions here at the JFF Captain Horace Bell Centre of Excellence.
We're here and starting today. We're already halfway into the first game.
Yes, and Mount Pleasant with a kickoff. Rankin goes wide to McCalla. This is the first Premier League football match in the history of the Jamaican Premier League played on an artificial surface. And so far, if we look at the technical aspect of the game, not seeing anything about the flow of the game that would suggest that the players are unhappy on the surface.
I think they're happy, rather. I think they're happy. At the elbow there from Isaacs into the face of Garrison, holding the nose, and it gets the yellow card early, first minute of the second half.
Yeah, third yellow card now for Mount Pleasant, so that's something they've got to watch. Some dark clouds hovering over the playing area now. There's the play again, and yeah, pretty heavy shove there. Yeah, there's the elbow with the right hand. Pennycook's play inside there, aiming for Nelson, didn't get to him. Elliott under pressure. Oh, does really well there, Elliott. Foul. There was some contact and a retaliation as well.
I think it was more of a coming together. I don't think Garrison sought to foul LeTroy Ling, But Lang is down for the count. We can confirm on our replay. I don't think there was anything malicious in it. That's what Kevin Graham is saying. Well, you know what you did. McCain is saying, no, it was a coming together. I thought that was what it was. Lovely turn from Elliott. And yeah, that's a Elliott was trying to, well, Lang was trying to get to the ball. Garrison was blocking him. Almost like a basketball screen. I don't think there was anything malicious there.
Yeah, struck in the chest. And Lang now having the chest area iced. And referee Costa is trying to get a sense from the medical team if they could just take that off the field and continue the administration of medical help there to Lang. So for the moment, Mount Pleasant down to 10 men.
I tell you what, Lance, the referee just warned Garrison. He said to him, you are on my radar now. Wow. So you know what that means? Next foul in the book.
Yeah, so they're head and head with fouls, 2-2 yellow cards at the halftime, and as soon as the second half starts, Mount Pleasant gets a third. Benbow. Isaacs. Oh, that was an ambitious pass there, looking for Beckford, but a lot too straight. And Beckford didn't have a chance to get to it. Garrison. Yeah, I saw what Graham was trying to do there, but it didn't quite come off, so he's given up a throw here to Tivoli Gardens, high inside their own half. Pennycook for Tivoli Gardens. Morgan did well there to keep possession of the ball. Wow, Elliott knocked off the ball by McCullough. Rankin and Graham exchanging passes. Benbow under some pressure. Good skill by Benbow. Beckford hounded by Price. Yeah, and Lang not passing accurately there, gives up a throw to Tivoli Gardens.
Yeah, Benbow was actually calling to Beckford. He wanted the return pass after laying it off to the number 10. But didn't get it.
So Tivoli stoutly putting their heads to this assignment after a pre-season that I would suspect or suggest was inferior to Mount Pleasant's pre-season. McCullough does well. Galloping away down the left side, McCullough. Green's cross. Benbow doesn't get the good shot off Benbow, so the finishing touches here from Mount Pleasant will be bothering their coach Paul Teague-Davis, because they could have been leading this fixture if they were more precise with their finishing touches.
And again, Beckford having cause to grumble there. He was showing Benbow, I wanted it here. You should have played the pass rather than going for the shot.
Garrison under pressure. Does well. Oh, good play here from Tivoli. Pennycook. Oh, and now Garrison gives the ball away. Rankin. McCullough. Beckford. Plays a soft pass. Wanted it back. Garrison wants Pennycook to come overlapping on the left side and does. Elliott is there in the middle waiting for it. He tries to get it to Elliott, but he doesn't. Wow. I'm not sure there why McCain didn't try to get the shot off.
Yeah, and he had Morgan to his right, who was in space and expecting the pass.
Beckford's delightful pass finds Benbow. Benbow has gone away. Price puts the chase on. Benbow's strike is woeful.
Wow. Rush of blood. I didn't expect him to do that, Cardell Benbow. I expected him to take Price on. To Price's credit, he made up some ground, so he loomed large to Benbow's left. And that convinced the Mount Pleasant man that he had to take an early shot. Look at this. You wouldn't expect that after this sprint that Price would be on the premises, but the big man carried his big frame there.
Yeah. I don't think he's bored, but disappointed so far for Mount Pleasant. And Benbow could have taken that into the box, because any uncalculated touch from Price could have resulted in a penalty as well. So he could have taken a touch into the box there. Morgan. Flemings. McCullough with the attempted clearance. And there goes Green now, but his first touch invites the successful challenge from Andre Smith.
Notwithstanding the unfamiliarity of some players with this surface, I think every player appreciates the fact that the ball runs through. You can predict the bounce, you can anticipate what the ball is going to do, and that's not something that can be said of any other surface in this country, not even the National Stadium. McCain has seen a lot of the ball so far for Tivoli in the second half.
Yeah, Garrison. Elliott turns. Oh, disappointing the effort there from Nelson from the left.
Yeah, but just like Mount Pleasant, Tivoli suffering from the same thing. Man gets the ball in the outside left position, and there are only two teammates in the box, surrounded by a horde of defenders. Not enough men in the box. You need runners from midfield to be breaking and offering a passing option inside the 18 or just outside. Neither team getting that right so far.
Yeah, Green. Bad pass by Green. And there goes Elliott. Has pace. It gives the ball away. Richie. Not good from the Mount Pleasant captain. He's given up a throw to Tivoli Gardens.
Yep.
Overcast conditions, but no rain at the moment. Flemings. Johnson. Here comes McCullough with the throw. McCullough has had one of the better scoring opportunities for Mount Pleasant since the start of this game, but fluffed his lines. Johnson. Graham tries to get the ball away. Beckford. Price puts pressure on. Successful pressure, no, but no, he's lost it. And Beckford, a lot of industry in display here from Kimar Beckford. Can someone find Benbow to the far side from this play? McCullough. Beckford doesn't do well here.
You know, even though Beckford retained possession, we have to congratulate Barrington Price for the quality of the defending there just now. One-on-one, went in with the body hard and forced the Mount Pleasant man to turn back. So rather than attacking, he had to retreat and look for someone to help to facilitate him going forward once again. So he slowed down the attack, Barrington Price. As a defender, that's the bare minimum you can do. If you can't win the ball, you force the attacker to retreat. Carrying a bit of condition, Barrington Price. Look at the bulge around the middle, but playing well so far for Tivoli.
Yeah, very, very solid defender. No nonsense defender he is too. So I think forwards are very weary when they're confronted by him.
And quick over ground, as Benbow will tell you.
Yeah. Flemings. I think Flemings is down, but the play continues. Garrison sent wider than he wanted to be. Excellent challenge from Leng. Johnson trying to turn his man there. Offside.
Wrong pass from Harvey though.
Yeah, he should have gone for Benbow on the right.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, fourth time that Beckford is in an offside position here, and Teagat Davis, the Mount Pleasant coach, is losing his patience with his boys in blue.
Yeah, Harvey did two things wrong there. He took an extra touch, and then he chose the wrong passing option.
Elliott bundled over by McCullough, two big strong men.
But guess what, Lance? The Tivoli boys are really competing. They'll tell you so far that this Mount Pleasant team ain't anything special.
Yeah. So Flemings, a 33-year-old Tivoli veteran, has had years upon years of experience here. I think did leave Tivoli for a short period, but went back. I think he spent a season or two at UWI, didn't he?
Absolutely. He was a former teammate of David Garrison there.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of shouts there on McCain. Garrison. Flemings now has it. Morgan. Elliott has gone into the box, but the ball doesn't get to him, and Tivoli wasting an opportunity there to put some pressure on. Benbow wants it. Sliding challenge from Price. Here comes Green on the near post. Watkins with a save.
Yeah, good save near side by the goalkeeper. Bushy Beckford is frustrated towards the left, but that's one occasion I'm not going to blame Daniel Green. I don't think he had the angle to make the cross. He had to go for the shot based on the angle, so I'm not going to kill him for that. But lovely pass out of midfield though.
Yeah.
Could he have made the pass? You know what? I think he went for the right option though.
Yeah.
Struck it powerfully.
Yeah, and the goalkeeper did have to work hard there on the near post.
Yeah.
Approaching the hour mark, and it's Mount Pleasant with the opportunity from the corner. They've won themselves a throw deep inside the Tivoli half, so Tivoli have been solid and diligent in most aspects of their game today, certainly in midfield and defence. McCullough wants some passing options. Oh, there goes the 41-year-old with his skill down the middle of the park. Oh, over dribbles. I think he was waiting for some support, but Garrison was taking a bit of a time to arrive.
Lance, I was about to call Garrison a taxi. He was taking forever.
Yeah. Oh, good work here by Mount Pleasant. Smart work there by Watkins, leaving his line in goal for this Tivoli team. He has done well in goal for Tivoli, Watkins.
Excellent goalkeeping, brave and decisive. Read the play from the moment Benbow slipped that little pass in and made himself big.
Green. Blue shirts filling up the box here for Mount Pleasant. McCullough doesn't get the header off. Beckford. His shot is deflected. Isaacs under pressure from Garrison. Graham.
Tivoli are warming up Radico Wellington. I said at the start that he would likely be the first change that they'd make tactically. Looks as if it's going to be that.
Yeah, Garrison shoves the more strongly built Isaacs off the ball. Neat football here from Tivoli, but Leng reads the play well.
Really impressed by this left back McCain for Tivoli Gardens. Slight of frame, youthful looking.
Yeah.
Very comfortable with the ball on either foot, this young man.
Yeah.
And looks to have what they call at the basic level, Lance, ball sense.
Yes. Yeah, good first 61 minutes here from him so far. Johnson robbed of the ball. Pennycook just put him some hurt there on Benbow. Oh, Elliott trying to slide the ball in there for
Nelson.
Yeah,
but the pass was too early.
Yeah, a bit too early. Could have waited a little bit longer. Yeah, the throw is from Mount Pleasant.
Well, Tivoli are ready with their first change, Lance, and it isn't Wellington. I'll tell you who it is in short order. Looks to be number 24, Steve McQueen, or 21, Justin Dunn, I'll tell you.
Oh,
25. Tommy Lawrence, yeah. That's who's coming for number 6.
Yeah.
So Morgan, who had his moments, Lance, in that first half. There was a header that he got badly wrong when he stole in behind Kevon Isaacs.
Yeah.
He really ought to have put that on target.
Yeah. You just said Steve McQueen there, George. I was about to say that Steve McQueen is accustomed to being on television but not playing football.
Yeah, that absolutely so. And there's a Steve McQueen who's a big fashion designer in Britain as well. But the man you speak of, the legendary movie star.
Yes. So there's Lawrence on, Tommy Lawrence. A lot of new faces in this Tivoli setup. Oh, the header out there by Andre Smith. So, overcast conditions, but no rain. I think the players will appreciate the fact that at 2:40 in the afternoon, they aren't forced to be dealing with some extremely searing heat. Good skill here by Johnson. Tumbles over from the challenge and clears at the referee. Yeah. George, this man played 231 matches for Sheffield Wednesday in England. Also spent some time with Bolton Wanderers and Oldham Athletic.
Cult hero.
Yeah, very, very outstanding player.
Look at him now. He walks around this challenge.
Yeah.
And says in the vernacular, "You know, I give him a foul."
Yeah, a bit of a argy-bargy there between Benbow and Garrison.
Call that an offensive foul. But Lance, I'm wondering, the Garrison of old would have been much more zippy on the flanks. There have been a few times, even on that play where Teddy Johnson was fouled in the midfield, he was waiting on Garrison to run outside him to his left for the return pass.
Yes, he was. Here's McCain. A little bit too much weight on the pass and maybe a bit too straight as well, so it invites Graham to win possession. Leng a little loose in collecting. McCullough. Green under pressure. Flemings with the clearance. And there goes Elliott. Holds the ball up, this young man.
I like him.
Yeah. Has a slight former JC player, a bit of a Danny Welbeck look-alike, although it may be just the hairstyle that's causing me to say that.
I think that's that. Welbeck is a bit leaner.
He is?
Yes, he is. And of a darker tone. But I see what you see.
Yeah. Welbeck, former Manchester United, now with Brighton and Hove Albion.
Yes.
Had a couple of outings for England as well, but can't quite squeeze himself into the England setup with the likes of Sterling and Foden and company.
I noticed he didn't say Arsenal. Played for Arsenal after Manchester United, you know.
George, I won't say what you want me to say. I leave that alone outside the off stump. I may get caught at slip.
There you go. Beckford seems to have been kicked in the calf, the left calf.
Mount Pleasant making a change, George?
Yes. Are they? Yes. No, well, the medical team coming on. Yes, they're warming up, but they're getting a substitute ready. Looks like Francois Swaby. So now they'll have a real target man if he comes on. And Ronaldo Rodney looks like he's coming to bolster the midfield as well. Another title winner from the
Mobe team.
Mobe United.
Yeah.
Outstanding team of recent memory.
And last time these two teams met, when Mount Pleasant beat Tivoli 2-0 in January of last year, Rodney and Benbow were the scorers. So if Rodney gets on now, he would want to take his mind back 16 months.
There haven't been many better midfields than the Mobile United midfield of Rodney, Curlew, and Ambrosley.
Yeah.
Along with
Bozencroft.
Oh my goodness, magic.
Yeah. Oh, Tivoli doing really well now, but they've given the ball away.
And then that midfield was supplying the ammunition for Owen Turtleman Gordon and
Dino
Williams. With the Bahamian Leslie Slenfleur flying down the left flank.
That's right. Really anxious to see some of the other teams get into action here. We understand St. Lucia has a player in the Premier League coming up. You'll see him in the coming weeks, though. I don't know if that was a shot or a cross.
Cross, that went horribly wrong.
Melvin Doxley plays for Cavalier, and there are a few Ghanis in the Portmore setup, we're told, George.
Yes. So Swaby's the change. Let's see who's coming off. Looks as if Bushy Beckford has been summoned. Frustrating afternoon for the number 10. There's a water break before all of that.
Yeah. Green is coming out, we're told, George, so I don't think that can be a surprising change, because he's not delivered for coach Paul Teague Davis.
And the frustrating thing is that whereas Bushy Beckford has not really gotten into the positions to hurt Tivoli, Green has gotten into those positions, but his final decision has been off today.
Yeah. You know that Beckford, very, very prolific while he was at Waterhouse, but he did go through long periods at Mount Pleasant where he just wasn't, getting his game on. He would go through 6 or 7 weeks playing well, then another 4 or 5 weeks when he isn't delivering as well as we know he can. And this afternoon sort of exemplifies the sort of inconsistent output that we've seen from Kimar Beckford in the Mount Pleasant shirt. He's now 30 years old, and several years on from his Waterhouse experience, but yet to enjoy the heady days, I would say, that he had with Waterhouse when he was such a prolific scorer.
I'd say to you that the form at Waterhouse that earned him the Mount Pleasant move, he hasn't shown that form for Mount Pleasant. He was absolutely electric in that season for Waterhouse before the Mount Pleasant move. Sometimes he was unplayable.
Yes.
When we did Waterhouse games, but we haven't seen that Bushy Beckford yet. We've seen it in fits and starts, but not consistently.
Well, here's Francois Swaby, George, a former Humberland man, has been a fairly regular goal scorer for Mount Pleasant since he's put on these blue shirts, having left Clarendon for St. Anne. Of course, St. Anne is just north of Clarendon as a parish, and Humberland's loss becomes Mount Pleasant's gain. And there's Ronaldo Rodney
in for Kevin Isaacs.
Yeah, I think Isaacs was getting tired. I saw him a couple of times off the ball. He was breathing heavily. Oh, what a delightful pass. Benbow gets onto the end of it, does he?
McCain.
No, again McCain comes in and steals it.
Yeah, so showing that he also has wheels, young McCain. Closing the ground on the lightning quick Cardell Benbow. Could get a lane in the 100-meter trials at the National Stadium, Cardell Benbow, if he focused on track and field. But this young man also quick.
Yeah, he's really played well. Yeah, there's Benbow with some tape on the left hamstring. A bit of a Benbow, a bit of a grimace there.
So the introduction of Swaby, he's an old-fashioned centre forward. He's just going to play number 9, back to the defenders, take on the physical challenge of Price and the Pennycook. Try to win the knockdowns, try to bring others into play. Not going to drift out to the flanks like Daniel Green before him.
Yeah. The corner. Way over to the far side, and Graham's attempt to head on goal. Off target.
An excellent servant for Humberland, Francois Swaby was.
Yeah.
And has, for the most part, replicated that form in a Mount Pleasant shirt, to be fair. He's done well for them. A player I really, really like.
Yeah, very, very solid. He's a genuine goal scorer, Francois Swaby. Knows how to position himself in goal scoring positions, and more often than not, he delivers.
More than a few assists from one of your favorite players when he was in a Humberland shirt, Lance, Hugh Gorilla Hoyle.
That's right. Yeah. Rankin there with a foul on Elliott.
He's done that a few times, Rankin, and has escaped sanction because he's been clever with his fouling. Garrison has gone through a lot of running in the second half. Has improved immeasurably. Anonymous for much of the first 45 minutes, but present well felt so far for Tivoli in the second half.
Yeah. Yeah, McCain is down hurt. Swaby gets going. No support in the middle. Now arriving through Benbow. Swaby still with it. Cuts the ball back here for Rodney. Mount Pleasant with the build-up. And Tivoli with a hasty clearance. But the build-up promising. But amounts to 0 for Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, and that situation created because Tivoli's left back is in the Mount Pleasant half, writhing in agony, young McCain. So there was a gap there.
Yeah.
And the Mount Pleasant, good communication between Swaby and Rodney, because Rodney was running from a faraway Lance, but he shouted Swaby that I want the return pass.
Yeah.
Swaby cut in on the left foot as if he was shaping to shoot, but knew all along that he was going to reverse it.
Yeah, let's see if we can see what happened here, because...
Ooh, a bad step. It was a bad step. He did no contact from Rankin.
Yeah, so that might be a muscle injury just to the back of the knee. Oh, very disappointing for the 20-year-old George. We've been saying since the start of this game how well this young man has played for Tivoli Gardens.
Absolutely so.
And if he has to leave, that would be problems for Tivoli for the remaining time in this fixture. 17 minutes left.
Yeah.
He does appear to be in a lot of pain.
Just saw the leg buckle when he landed after executing the flick over Rankin's head. But he's young, Lance. He should be fine.
Yeah, but muscle injuries have a way, George, to be a little stubborn. Yeah, it's behind the knee there. I saw him just clutching on to the base of the hamstring almost.
The veteran has lasted 73 plus minutes, Lance. Teddy Johnson. That's good for Tivoli. The oldest man on the park by some measure, isn't he?
Yes, for sure. It does appear that McCain is going to re-enter the game.
He'll not want to leave this.
Yeah, but let's watch him closely, George, because he did seem to be in a lot of pain a few minutes ago. But as you say, he's young. He's 20 years old, and at that age, resilient. And on an afternoon like this, he wouldn't want to leave this game, especially having contributed so much for his team.
On TV, everybody watching him, and he's playing well. Not a chance that he's coming off.
Yeah, just saw him running for the challenge there. He looks okay up to this point. Flemings. Graham with the extravagant header out. Benbow can't get by
Pennycook,
who
started shakily, Lance, but hasn't put a foot wrong since maybe about the first 10 minutes of the game. This man Pennycook.
McCullough threatening. Oh, but Benbow fails to take the pass from McCullough.
Flat-footed. So Mount Pleasant just need to recalibrate. So they have their target man now, so they can play around Francois Swaby. And they have a midfielder, Rodney, who will always be sprinting from midfield to join the attack, just outside the 18-yard box, hanging around looking for the pullback. That's him.
Yeah. Two quick changes there with Rodney and Francois Swaby on. There's Swaby. Did play some club football in Guatemala and El Salvador a couple of years ago, after he had led the Humble Lions scoring in the 2016-17 season with 10 goals.
The thing I think is most impressive about Francois Swaby, Lance, you mentioned his goal scoring, it's his touch under pressure. The defender could be in his back and the ball comes to him, he's going to take that down on the instep or take it down on the thigh. I don't know how he does it. Very good touch under pressure. Not many players are reliable in tight situations when they're under pressure to keep the ball. One touch, kill the ball dead. Francois Swiebe has that in his locker.
Yeah, I remember doing a call on one of his goals at Effortville, and I said the first touch brilliant, the second touch even better. And it was because the first touch was just put the ball dead, and the second touch was the strike into the goal.
Yeah, it was a rainy Sunday afternoon. I remember that.
Yeah, so you are right. He does have those skills.
It was when Vassal Reynolds was coaching them. I think that was the goal of the famous fist pump celebration. You remember that one? Down on the knees, pumping both arms. I think that was the one.
Yeah. Nelson in a tight spot there, but trying to get through. Big clearance there by Rankin. Yeah, Price ensures that Swiebe has no comfort in receiving that pass upfield.
Yeah, a heavier weight battle now between Price and Swiebe. Not quite heavyweight, but heavier weight.
Rankin's pass back here to Graham. Oh, a bit of a short pass back there to Richie. Brings the captain into some urgent moves. Smith goes wide here to Pennycook. Fleming successfully challenged by McCullough. Nelson doing some real good work in midfield there for Tivoli Gardens. Now Flemings. Lawrence fighting hard for the ball. Now we've got Johnson. Oh, yeah, his pass is cut off.
Yeah, wanted to fool the defender with a no-look pass.
Yeah, Rodney to Beckford. Beckford cuts inside. Swiebe wants it. Oh, I think he was going for Benbow there, but
yes, he was.
Didn't get the height on the... Oh, that's a delightful ball in here for Swiebe! Brilliant save there from goalkeeper Watkins, who is hurt on the challenge.
Wow, no flag on the play. That was a pass from Kemar Beckford, picking the lock of the Tivoli defense. And Swiebe, I think the ball, look, the ball ran, the ball came on his left. I think he wanted it on the right. Nevertheless, he should have gathered it. But Watkins, look how fast the Tivoli goalkeeper came off his line. Yes,
yeah,
it bounced in his path. Pennycook, look at Pennycook's bump, was also important as well.
It just knocked Swiebe off his balance.
Absolutely, right here. Look at the defender. Yeah, that's the bump that did it.
Yeah, and the goalkeeper does really well here.
Yep.
So Watkins has been outstanding in goal for Tivoli Gardens this afternoon. In the distance, we see Cavalier warming up. They have the second match against Humberland. That's Francois Swiebe's former team.
But the bounce of the ball, it originally bounced on Swabe's left, but then when it landed, it was right into his path. I've been making this point since the start of the game. Sometimes it's the little things from the defenders. Pennycook couldn't get there. When I say there, I mean where the ball was. But he knew he could reach the man, and he just bumped him to knock him off balance.
Yeah.
And depending on his goalkeeper, this is it once again. Ball out of his reach, knocks the man, and then the goalkeeper Watkins bravely going in.
Yeah, the nudge there from Pennycook prevented Swiebe from getting the touch on the ball that he wanted to get, and that was the decisive moment. Yeah, and there's Watkins. He's been in some bumps.
I've seen him season after season. It's the same thing. He'll not come off. Don't worry about him. He'll be fine. One player making another change, is it? Or is this Tivoli?
I think both teams making changes, George.
I see Rodico Wellington ready for Tivoli. Yes, Benbow is off for Mount Pleasant, that's for sure.
Yeah, it will be disappointing for Benbow because he has looked threatening. Tivoli has Wellington coming in
for Teddy Johnson.
Yeah, Teddy Johnson. So some fresh legs here. So the veteran general Jermaine Teddy Johnson exits the field on 80 minutes. So he's given Tivoli 80 minutes today, George, which is solid. Very, very solid 80 minutes. Always looked threatening on the ball and continues to be a very, very influential player in this Tivoli Gardens setup. Oh, as soon as he comes onto the field, Rodico Wellington gets into the action. Graham recovers well with a challenge.
Superb.
Price. Garrison. Swaby can't get there before Price does. Yeah, Price gets support from Pennycook and his goalkeeper. So Tivoli, 10 minutes into, well, the final 10 minutes into the game, and Tivoli are matching Mount Pleasant here and not allowing these game favourites to go ahead of them. Beckford inside with a pass. Rodney doesn't get a proper clearance in, under pressure though. Oh, the Tivoli defenders have defended with good teamwork and aggression as well.
I was about to make that point, that the pair of Pennycook and Price have recovered well from an iffy start. Few times when they played offside, got the offside call, but it was more by luck than anything. But they recovered from that. They've been solid.
Yeah. Of course, a couple of seasons ago, Price would have lost his central defensive partner, Kimar Seavright, who is now with Malines.
How easy was that?
Too easy.
Wow. Simple stepping in front, almost as if he was taking candy from a baby Barrington Price. And if you ask him, he says, well, that's exactly what I did.
Leng. Garrison gets in the way.
And now he goes down injured. Barrington Price.
Oh boy. So the
hamstring he's holding.
Wow.
Doesn't look good.
Yes, the Tivoli captain is down.
Maybe just a bit of cramp.
Yeah, it could be cramps as well.
Yeah.
It's been very hot these days. There's been some rain in Kingston and St Andrew the past 2 or 3 days, so the temperatures have gone down a bit.
And even so, I've never seen a first game of any Premier League season where there's not been at least one player going down with cramps.
Yeah.
It's natural. Look at Garrison now.
Wow.
And I see a man getting his calf sprayed. That could be cramps as well. Wow, well, our producer's asking for the man of the match so far. In the first half, for me, the best player on the pitch was Sule Makala, I thought. Most influential, but he's not had the same kind of impact in the second half. McCain has done very well for Tivoli in the second half.
Yeah, they're in the conversation for sure. Makala hasn't been that impactful in the second half, and his missed kick in the first half,
Yes.
I think he would have lost some marks there as well. But I think McCain was solid. Johnson, while he was on, was, you know, also pretty influential for Tivoli Gardens. Yeah, this doesn't look good for Price, the captain of this Tivoli Gardens team.
Maybe more than cramps then.
Yeah, if it is that he has tweaked his hamstring, he may want to go and have a chat with James Harden to find out what he has done to get himself back on the NBA playoff courts.
He was there in body, but not much else. Well, the skipper is going to come back on, Lance, I can tell you that. He's just beckoning to the official who's giving him the green light to come back on. So he's going to soldier it on.
Yeah.
Running with a limp as he is.
Yeah, I think they should at least strap it though, maybe just to give it some support if it is that he has tweaked a hamstring. Mount Pleasant. Swaby going up and missing the header. Makala. Oh, just too close to the goalkeeper, not giving Swaby an opportunity.
You know what, Lance, I tell you what. There hasn't been an outstanding attacker for Mount Pleasant because the attack has been disjointed. There, Daniel Green with his struggles, Beckford with his frustration, Benbow. So there hasn't been an outstanding attacker at Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant's defenders have done well in individual battles. Richie and Leng when he was on the field. Tivoli's defenders, we've said, have done well. Pennycook and Price. I'm leaning to the young man. The young left back for Tivoli Gardens, Lance. A young 20-year-old. First time on TV like this. At this level. I think he has stood up really, really well. Not just defending, which he has done well, but in helping Tivoli to attack as well. Supporting Garrison, offering Garrison the overlapping run. So I'm trending there. I hope I can convince you to come with me.
Yeah, well, he's listed on the Tivoli Gardens roster as a midfielder, young McCain. So, you know, he clearly is a player that is very versatile. And the coaching staff would understand what they have to work with. But he's very solid. I wouldn't have a difficulty with him being man of the match today. Because they're up against the team, George, that we're supposed to beat them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Tivoli's goalkeeper has also made his impact on the game because he is... Oh, here is Swaby trying to get onto this one, but again, Watkins in goal for Tivoli, equal to the task.
I would say McCain's only serious rival is indeed Watkins, his colleague in goal. But the reasoning from me is Watkins is a known quantity. He's a safe pair of hands. This young man, I didn't expect him to stand up as well as he has done today. So that's my thinking.
Yeah, Wellington goes wide. Wellington. Flemings, can Tivoli steal one here late? Price. Oh, he took his eyes off the ball. And now Devontae Campbell, the substitute, goes away for Mount Pleasant. Oh, Beckford wasn't close enough, and I don't think Swaby played the pass firmly enough. So the opportunity for Mount Pleasant dissipated there.
Wow, Price getting away with it criminally, taking his eyes off the ball.
Yeah. I think McKean has gone into a midfield slot now, hasn't he? Swaby.
He played most of the second half at left back in the realize that.
Lawrence for Tivoli Gardens. The second half substitute. Beckford. Oh, trying to squeeze the ball back to Harvey. Didn't get to him. So just a few minutes left on the clock. Plus time to be added on for stoppages. So at the moment, this game heading for a 0-0 stalemate. And pre-match, George, when you spoke with both coaches, you came out of those interviews thinking that Teagat Davis was easily the more confident of the two coaches.
Yes, sir. He exuded that kind of confidence. It hasn't manifested into the quality of play from his boys. There is a lot of work to be done. Philip, if it ends this way, Philip Williams will be the happier coach, no doubt.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And as he said, the result, I put it to him, the result was, well, if we won, fine. If we lost, whatever. But I wanted a good performance. He's gotten a good performance.
Yeah, they've played well. Coming up after this fixture, Cavalier against Humberland. Cavalier Premier League champions in 1981, no more titles since then. Humberland have never won the Premier League.
Wow, who would have thought that after the Duncan Destroyers, as they were called, Lance, one for Cavalier back then, before I was born.
Yeah, part of their problem, George, was that when they had one of their best teams, Arnett Gardens had a tremendous team and won like 2 or 3 years in a row when Cavalier were very, very good, but Arnett were just better.
It would have been 2 years in a row because Arnett have 5 titles, correct? So they won in 77 and they won twice with Waite. So they won back-to-back and then they had a gap, then they won back-to-back again.
They did have back-to-back titles, they did, Arnett, in the late 70s. And Cavalier eventually won in 1981 with Clarence Prendies and David Burgess and a lot of quality players in that Cavalier setup.
Rankin is the man who's committed the most fouls and escaped a yellow card, the holding midfielder for Mount Pleasant, and got away with it there once again.
Minimum 4 minutes to be added for the second half.
Yes, so we understand that a minimum of 4 minutes will be added on for stoppages here. There's
he
former
got
Cavalier man.
Oh no, he did.
Yeah, he does get a yellow card.
Did, okay. There
Leonard Rankin.
Ran out of luck.
Yeah. He was also invited to the national setup as well, Rankin. Swaby in the Mount Pleasant goal has the job here to ensure that Tivoli don't steal one late on them, George.
Yes, sir.
And look at the number of tangerine shirts in the box looking for a late winner.
Logical that he's back one of the bigger men for the Mount Pleasant team.
Yeah. Can Tivoli find a late winner? McCalla with a header out. Lawrence on the rebound. Garrison. Rodney retrieves close to the touchline. Richie flirting with a bit of danger there, but he has a lot of confidence in his own ability. Rodney. Harvey. Oh, delightful change ball here coming across to Swaby. Swaby's cross. Oh, Watkins with the stop. He appeared to be trying to hold it though, and it slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, but excellent counter-attack from Mount Pleasant just now. There was a long pass from Richie to the half-line lands. Beckford under pressure and almost out of bounds, but took that on the chest brilliantly well to keep the move going. Just some pockets of quality in the game today.
Yeah. But to be fair to these players, they would have gone through 14 and a half months, George, of not playing the kind of football that they're accustomed to be playing, probably for the first time in their football lives.
Correct.
So Watkins
has done very, very well.
Yeah, strong man of the match candidate here for Tivoli Gardens. He has been the man between the sticks that has supported his defenders well and foiled the many attacking opportunities that Mount Pleasant had set up for themselves. So we're a minute and a half on the clock away from the final whistle here. And it does seem very, very likely, unless there is some magic in the final seconds, that this will be a stalemate. Oh, Beckford is trying to set himself up, shoved off the ball there by Big Barrington Price.
Trying to buy a foul.
Yeah. Laying first touch not as good as it needed to be.
Free kick.
Yes, Smith down for the count.
What a frustrating day for Beckford though, has played everywhere across the Mount Pleasant front line without joy.
Yeah. Smith just rising to his feet there. Pennicook. Delightful ball upfield by McCain. Wellington. That's the final whistle from referee Costa. No goals in the opening fixture of the Jamaica Premier League powered by Digicel. And a fierce battle here between Tivoli and Mount Pleasant ends scoreless.